Betrayal is one of the most painful blows that can happen in a relationship. Trust, which serves as the foundation for any emotional bond, is deeply shaken when infidelity comes into play. Each story of betrayal reveals a mix of emotions: surprise, anger, sadness, and even a sense of irreparable loss. It is these caught-in-the-act moments of infidelity that you will watch today. A husband, suspicious of his wife, who had already been displaying some strange behaviors and growing distant, started to worry about what might be happening, and in fact, it was exactly what he had imagined. The woman, who had been showing a certain dissatisfaction with the relationship, asked for some time to rethink its continuation, claiming lack of motivation and that the relationship had fallen into a routine. However, the husband already suspected that someone else might be involved, and that this would be the real reason behind her decision. Investigating, he discovered that his wife would be at a countryside house and decided to go there. Arriving at the place, he found his wife naked together with a man who, to his surprise, was his best friend. That is right, she was cheating on him with his best friend, which amounts to a double betrayal, both on her part and on his.
Te dei tempo.
Te dei tudo.
Beleza.
Entendeu? Aí tu falou, passivo, entendeu? Eu te dei tudo. Amigo, velho. Amigo.
Outraged, he began filming everything to expose the situation. The woman wrapped herself in a sheet and the lover in a cloth, while the husband recorded and described what was happening. The wife still tried to explain herself, but there was not much to be said. The scene spoke for itself. The lover, who was his friend, asked him to stop recording and leave, claiming that the woman had said she was already separated, which was not true. A husband caught and decided to record the moment he arrived home and came upon his wife, who uses a wheelchair, cheating on him with another man, who was even someone he knew. That is exactly right. The woman who used a wheelchair was cheating on her husband at home with another man. Arriving home unexpectedly, ahead of schedule, he found his wife in bed with a man who was known in the area where they lived. Outraged, he decided to film to expose the embarrassing situation he was experiencing. The wife even tried to deny it, saying it was nothing serious, and that the man was just helping her around the house with some chores, since she had difficulties due to her condition. However, they were in bed, which made this explanation not very convincing.
Tá vendo o homem daqui? Não sou eu, estou surpreso, eu não sei onde está não. Ai, eu faço o quê, meus colegas? Eu faço o quê?
Irritated, the husband decided to film everything, stating that he would expose the situation on the internet and show it to his mother-in-law. After all, he did everything for his wife and cared for her lovingly, since she was in a wheelchair and needed special care. Even so, she had the nerve to bring a lover into the house and lie down with him on the bed she shared with her husband, something completely disrespectful that the husband caught and made sure to share. A video has been circulating on social media in which an outraged man is shown kicking his wife, naked, out of the house after discovering an act of infidelity. The case was recorded in a condominium in Penápolis, in the state of São Paulo, Brazil. One of the residents recorded the moment when the couple was in the building's outdoor area, and the husband began pushing the wife toward the door leading outside. In the video, amidst screams, the man pushes the woman. Neighboring women who witnessed the scene tried to soften the situation and handed her a robe to cover herself. However, the lack of clothing did not stop the husband from continuing his actions. With the woman already covered, he began pulling her by the arm and dragging her to the outside door. The person filming the situation even comments in the video that the man found out she was cheating on him.
Pelada, sem roupa, pegou ela na cama. Pegou ela na cama com outro. Dá na cara dela. Coitado.
After managing to put his wife out, he sat down and began to cry. The wife ended up thrown out with nothing but the robe given to cover herself. The video made it onto social media and quickly circulated throughout the country. Specialists warned that he could be held criminally liable for his actions. An outraged woman stormed into a worship service at an evangelical church to reveal that the pastor there was having an affair with her husband and that she had discovered everything. The moment was complete chaos and controversy. While the pastor preached the word during the service, the woman invaded the place and began to lash out, shouting and exposing to all the congregants what the pastor was doing behind the scenes. The other congregants, along with the pastor, tried to ignore the woman, not really believing what she said, but she insisted and kept talking, shouting about the pastor's true face so that everyone could hear. After a certain point, some congregants guided the woman out of the church, but outside she kept shouting and exposing the pastor. At the church door, some congregants, to avoid even greater chaos, formed a barrier so that the woman could not enter again. The situation was recorded by someone who accompanied her, and after being shared on the internet, quickly went viral. A caught in the act Betrayal has been causing an uproar in Campo Grande, in the state of Mato Grosso do Sul, Brazil. This is because the blame for the adultery is being placed on a being from another world, in this case, Satan. The woman, a female pastor, caught by her husband in a motel in the city with another pastor, apologized and stated that she had been a victim of Satan. In the footage, the man appears screaming, calling his wife's companion a devil's pastor. Yelling, he says that the pastor destroyed his life, in addition to ruining his family. Then he goes to the motel bathroom where his wife is and begins kicking the closed door. He insults his wife and screams, indicating that the female pastor would be behind it. The betrayed man also states that the video will go around all of Campo Grande.
O pastor do diabo! Quem tá ali tá ela! Aqui tá ela! Você acabou com a minha vida!
The female pastor spoke out about the incident, saying that despite the mistake, she should not be judged, since it had already happened and there was no going back, and that whoever has never sinned, let them cast the first stone. She also states that the comments on the betrayal, made in what she called the Internet Tribunal, do not affect them, and that people will have to settle things with God, since her husband had already forgiven her. Imagine discovering that your wife is pregnant, feeling the joy of becoming a father, and then finding out that, in reality, you are not the biological father of the child. Well, that is exactly what happened to this guy. In a video recorded by himself, we can see his dissatisfaction and sadness upon discovering through an exam that he was not the father of the child his wife was expecting. They were leaving the clinic when the man started recording, showing his wife by his side, who tried to justify herself, saying there must have been some error in the exam or some blood incompatibility. However, the husband did not believe it, since the exam result revealed everything.
Tem alguma coisa errada, falei. É seu filho, cara. É teu. Deu alguma coisinha, uma possibilidade no nosso filho.
She asks him to stop filming, but he makes a point of continuing, revealing that they had already bought the baby's layette, as well as a stroller and various gifts. Even knowing the child was not his, the wife let her husband go through all of that. Moreover, the relatives already knew about the pregnancy and were eagerly awaiting the little one's arrival. Revealing the true story now would be a shock to everyone and a great embarrassment for the husband. A man, driven by a mix of jealousy and rage, invaded a gym where his wife trained and staged a chaotic scene upon discovering her affair with the personal trainer. According to witness accounts, the husband arrived at the gym carrying suitcases and bags with his wife's belongings, showing a frightening determination. Upon finding the personal trainer, he made death threats, demanding that the man take responsibility for the relationship. The tension in the environment was palpable, and customers and employees felt intimidated by the gravity of the situation. He threw the suitcase with his wife's belongings on the floor of the place, displaying a great deal of aggression. The quick sharing of the event on social media turned the case into one of the day's most talked about topics. Videos and photos of the confrontation went viral, sparking a wave of reactions and debates about infidelity, domestic violence, and the emotional consequences such situations can unleash. The husband's attitude, although understandable to some, is widely condemned by society. Experts warn of the dangers of resorting to violence as a way of dealing with infidelity, emphasizing that physical and verbal aggression are never justifiable. Infidelity, no matter how painful, does not justify any type of violent act. A man, after investigating his wife, discovered that she had been having an affair outside the marriage, cheating on him for some time. Faced with this discovery, he went home and, when greeted by his wife, started recording, revealing everything and kicking her out of the house. In the footage, the man appears somewhat calm, saying with serenity that she would no longer remain in his home. He also insults and humiliates her with swear words, making sure to expose and share everything that was happening. The husband had already been suspicious of his wife. After all, she always used the excuse that she was working overtime, which is why she came home late. With the help of friends, he discovered that, in reality, she was meeting another man and was not working overtime as she claimed. He then packed all her things, waited for her to arrive, began filming, and kicked her out of the house as soon as she walked in.
Tá tudo ali, ó. Vai. Vai embora. Vai embora. Vai. Na minha casa não fica.
The man put all the woman's belongings out in the street, and she, outraged, confronted the husband, saying that her things would not stay there. He insisted, telling her to go away. She did not even try to explain or justify herself, making it clear that she really was doing something wrong. A man discovered that his wife was cheating on him with a neighbor and made her confess everything on camera while he filmed the situation to expose it. In a threatening tone, he practically forces the woman to admit what she had done. She tries not to speak but is pressured and ends up admitting that she went to a motel with a friend and another guy. Furthermore, when the husband asks what she is, she admits to being a hussy. Showing disturbing behavior, the husband starts laughing, leaving the woman frightened. Then, he states that he had been with her for more than 2 years and could not believe what she had done. He even mentions her full name and the place where they live, intending to expose her and trigger a kind of social cancellation.
Fala pra mim o que tu é. Fala. O que você é?
Sou o marido que você falou que eu sou.
Você é o quê?
The husband also reveals that the wife's family believed that she was a goody-goody and proper person, but they were mistaken, and that he would prove everything through the footage, which he was already planning to share on social media, something he indeed did. A video of a woman exposing her husband's betrayal and showing evidence at the lover's workplace went viral on social media in the year 2023. The case took place in Manaus, in the state of Amazonas, Brazil. Witnesses recorded the moment when the woman entered the store and distributed printouts of the conversation between her husband and a store clerk. In the video, she shouts and rants, declaring that during working hours, one should not flirt with someone else's husband. She asks to speak to the store manager and, with the printed intimate conversation in hand, approaches the lover, warning the other saleswomen to be careful with their husbands, as their co-worker would be, according to her, a prostitute.
Os outros em paz e vai trabalhar. Em horário de trabalho, a gente não fica dando em cima do marido dos outros. Quem é o gerente aqui? Cuidado com o teu marido, isso aí é uma prova.
The wife also adds that there were intimate photos of the employee in the conversations, and that one day, while she was shopping in the store with her child, the saleswoman had kissed her husband in the store's bathroom, without her knowing. However, everything was recorded in the messages. A woman spent the entire night away from home and, upon arriving at dawn without giving her husband any proper explanations, thought she would get away with it. But she was completely mistaken. The husband made a point of waiting up for her with a bag already packed with some clothes. As soon as she entered the house, he began filming and handed her the bag, asking her to leave. She still feels entitled to confront the husband, saying she would not leave and would not go away. After all, he was judging her for something she had not done. But let's be honest, what on earth would a married woman be doing out all night without giving explanations to her husband? Arriving at sunrise? Pretty suspicious.
Vamos conversar na boa. Eu quero saber que mulher casada tá chegando uma hora dessa em casa.
Amor, eu não vou sair da casa.
Vai sair sim. Vai sair sim.
Tira a mão de...
Her justification was that she had slept at her mother's house, but when questioned why she had not waited until morning to leave for home, after all, it was still dark, and also why she had not given any notice, she could not answer, and the husband kicked her out of the place. A husband, after discovering his wife's betrayal, went to confront her inside the house and found her supposedly having an anxiety attack in the middle of the stairs, throwing herself there and putting on an endless drama. The man, who was also with his mother at home, began filming everything and stated that he wanted his wife to leave. She, in shock, tried to deny the husband's claims, while he insisted that she leave. His mother, incredibly enough, took the daughter-in-law's side, saying he was overreacting. As a result, the husband expelled his own mother from the house as well, stating that she could also leave along with her daughter-in-law, since she was taking her side. The strangest thing about it all is that at a certain point in the argument, the woman confessed the betrayal, saying that at least the lover liked her for who she was, and that the husband was a cuckold, a truly embarrassing and humiliating situation.
Ah, pôr vocês duas pra fora, que a casa é minha. Fica ainda se mostrando ainda aí, ó. Maldita hora que fui acreditar no você. Ah, é?
After some time arguing in chaos, she went down the stairs and halfway down said she was having an anxiety attack, lying down in the middle of the staircase. The mother-in-law then stated that she would call the police. The husband in turn said he did not care about the alleged anxiety attack and that she could do whatever she wanted, but that he would not change his mind. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.